All right. Okay, so does anyone have any questions before we get into this week's kind of training and training session on how to automate your marketing?
I had a quick question. This is Jane. I just posted it in the chat. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
I was trying to add my goals, but when I add them and refresh the screen, nothing populates. And then when I try to add them again, it says it's a duplicate.
Okay. You might have you changed are you looking at the right year? So I don't know, but I'll have someone look into your account, Jane.
Thank you.
And reach out to you and see right after this. And then they can go over that with you. Okay. Any other questions before?
Brent, didn't you have some questions?
Me?
In accountability, he did.
Okay.
He must have walked away.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Did you have any questions?
I found the answer out.
Okay.
You know what would be great though? It took me literally 10 minutes to find the link to this meeting.
Okay.
The one from last meeting was no longer valid, and I just thank God for Nancy Perry. She put it up on Facebook, but maybe an invite or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'll do that is just get a calendar invite sent over to all of you. That might just help that whole situation.
I feel like I have a little army of bots or something.
I know. You've been cloned. All right. Do we, are there any questions before we start? I know that, someone mentioned that they had some questions, but they found the answers. So one thing I wanted to let you guys know of and be aware of, we do offer 24/7 support. So you don't have to wait for, this, Tuesday session to ask or get answers for your questions. Feel free to use our support. I'm going to share my screen here so I can show you where you would get that from. So you could just click on this help button and choose any one of these. So knowledge base is a really great one. You can type in your question here, kind of just type in a keyword and it'll come up. But then you can also join our Facebook community. This is a great resource because a lot of people are posting in here different questions, different tips, different things all together. We post a lot of announcements in there. Our marketing team posts a lot of their announcements. And then this one here, the video tutorial. So our YouTube channel has a ton of videos that you can watch on how to do things. And so if you go to the playlist and you can see it'll have like lead generation, market properties, stay organized. And then these are all done with playlists. So if you want to see all of our tips, you can just click on this view full playlist and that will give you all of our tips that we post. Okay. And our tips are like 2 minutes or less. Okay. So using the YouTube channel will be a great resource for you as well. And then you can also just click on this contact us button here. And this is how you would get like that one-on-one interaction with us. Okay. Sound good? All right. I'm going to stop sharing here for a minute. So did everyone complete their goals and put in their commissions from either earlier this year or from all of last year? I know I can't see your faces right now, but go ahead and put something in the chat that, stating if you got it, if you need some help with it. If you need some help with it, Carrie's halfway there. That's awesome. If you need help, let me know and I'll connect you with someone from our team after this call. So they can definitely reach out to you if you don't have time right after this, they can schedule something with you, all right? All right, Belinda, awesome, you're done. Tori's working on it. Kristen's added this year's transactions, that's great. So now you guys are looking and you're logging in every day, and you guys are able to see what your numbers are at, where you're at with your numbers. That's a really good motivation. Either, you know, keep going, or kind of like, all right, I can take Tuesday off. You know, I got this. So it's a good way to figure out where you're at in the year. And I think it's something that everyone should be doing. If you eventually have time, or if you've got, like me, you've got a teenager that's bored at home this summer, give them some work. They're great, cheap labor. So go ahead and, you know, give them some numbers to enter in your database, because that's, it's nice to even go back, you know, years back too, if you have that data readily available to you. All right, so today we're going to talk about how to automate your marketing. Who right now is using any kind of drip campaigns or email? Are you guys doing any kind of email marketing? Okay, Carrie, I see her raising her hand. Anyone else? You guys can unmute and chime in and say, like, tried it, I'm scared of it. I don't know what to say. Because I'm going to help you through that. So I know that can be hard. Like drip campaign, Kristen said, drip campaigns, yes, so good. Because the drip campaigns, they work. They really do. It's something that you want to get your messaging out there. I think one of the things, if you've not done anything, or maybe you're just have one drip campaign, is just figure out what your next step is. If you already have a drip campaign like Kristen, whatever that is, you know, don't do the same thing, but do something different, you know, do something either about you and what value you bring, just like an about me thing. It could also be something based on where you're getting your leads from. Okay, so if you're getting internet leads from your website or a landing page that you've created, then this would be a great way of doing that. And so this week we're talking about how to automate your marketing, because next week we're going to talk about how to capture your new leads. And so that landing page that I just mentioned, we're going to talk about that for next week. So first, before you start capturing leads, you want to already have the messaging done. So keep that in mind when we're talking about this today. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. If you guys have questions, unmute yourself, chat with me. I love having conversations. So I'm totally happy to just, and I think everyone else will learn too from whatever you guys are doing. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me close this stuff out here. All right. So we're going to talk about marketing and drip campaigns specifically. So with your drip campaigns, and now I can't see everybody because I'm sharing my screen. So if you're like trying to get my attention, just unmute yourself and talk. That will be the best way for me to know that you're asking a question. All right. So you might get to this page and you might just see something like a start button, like start your marketing programs, and that's totally fine. Just click on that start button. Obviously, this is a demo account, so we already have programs started in here. Once you get to something that looks similar like this and has this add program button, you're going to want to click on that. That's your step one, okay, of creating a marketing program. And now this is where you kind of have to make a decision. And there's going to be decisions along the way. The very first decision is, what's your message going to be? And if you don't know what your message is just quite yet, we got you. We got you covered. We have these stock programs, so you can click on this add stock program and you can say, well, who do I already have in my database? Because a lot of times you want to even you definitely want to market to those people, right? You want to market to your clients or to your contacts that are in your database right now. So maybe you have a category called past clients. So maybe this would be a good one for you. Maybe they speak Spanish. So, you know, kind of put them in a category of Spanish speakers, because we have a drip campaign. Now, if you don't speak Spanish, then that's going to be a hard time when you get a reply. I can't help you with that, but you can definitely have somebody help you with that. If you want to, obviously this is a seller's market, so we have something for that as well. You can do something for FSBO. So if you've got some kind of for sale by owner lead, then you can also do that. So you have your options here. It's just a matter of figuring out what your messaging is going to be. Okay. And looking through and seeing like, hey, where do I want to go with this? What do I want to say? And one of the things that I want to kind of talk to is the fact that just because, let's say we're going to do this 6-touch seller in a seller's market, just because we have something written in here doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you have to send out. And I would highly suggest, even though we have great content writers, I would highly recommend that you customize this to your own tone. Maybe you say y'all, maybe, I don't know. But if you do, say that in here. Maybe you want to say something, you know, a little bit more, be a little bit, you know, more, talk maybe about your neighborhood, about the area that you are marketing to. Put that in here, make it personal, because you can have several of these running simultaneously. It's not just one drip campaign to one person. It's not even one drip campaign to one account. You can have multiple drip campaigns going, and you can have multiple drip campaigns going to multiple people. And I think it's totally fine to do that last one, multiple drip campaigns to multiple people, as long as you're not confusing the message, right? As long as you're not saying like, hey, it's a seller's market, it's a buyer's market. Hey, it's, are you looking to buy? And then the next message, are you looking to sell? If you want to do that, then combine the messaging. Okay, so don't make it so confusing where it sounds disconnected, like you didn't even realize you had them on 2 drip campaigns. Okay, so if you want to make this about selling their property because they may have some equity in it, and then buying in maybe an area that is up and coming, or downsizing, or whatever it is, or moving up, then go ahead and put that messaging in here. Okay, so any questions on that so far? I'm gonna stop my sharing so I can see if there's any like people unmuting themselves or nodding their heads, yes, no, or looks in confusion. No, I don't even see half of you. I see three of you. So, but hopefully you guys are getting that, okay? Now here comes the part that I want to talk to you a little bit more about. So you can see in here this image, this graphic. If this is something you're like, I don't like this image, bye-bye, delete it, okay? If you don't like it, that's okay. You don't have to use it. I do want to say is that if you don't have another option for something, something is better than nothing. Let's say you don't like this image for whatever reason, but you don't have anything to replace it with, I would say keep this. The reason being is that emails that have some images, some personality, some different colors, different size fonts, different, you know, whatever, it's nice to have in here. Okay, so if you don't like it, it's totally fine. Just make sure you replace it with something. If you're going to replace it with something, you'll have to upload that image into your Wise Agent account. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. So you'll have this images here. I'm going to open this in a new tab. So from the tools drop down, you'll have to upload that image in here. So you've saved it on your desktop somewhere. Go ahead and click on upload, drag it in here, and it'll automatically upload. And now it's accessible to your account. Okay, that's really important. I can go into the technicalities if you guys want to be bored a little bit, but it's very important that you follow that step. If you don't, you will have a broken image in your drip campaign. Okay, so hopefully I have you guys on that. All right.
So, I'm sorry, I may have missed a step there.
Yeah.
So that's if we want to upload our own images, or that's if we want to upload one of yours?
If you want to upload one of your images. So if for whatever reason you want to, maybe you love these images, but you want another one in there, right? You found another one that matches it and looks right, and you want to add it, an additional image, you have to go to this image manager, which could be found under tools and then images, and click on this upload image. If you're feeling like, Oh,
I'm sorry, this is Tori. So there's not standard images that you have. Those are just ones you've uploaded. Is that correct? That's why we
these are
see
all
those.
images that we've uploaded. But these images
Okay.
in here that are in the program, you don't have to re-upload these. These are already in your account. Those are part of our
Okay, thank
stock
you.
images.
Okay.
Okay. But if I go to, you know, and you should use licensed images. Let me put that out there too. Don't ever use an unlicensed image. So don't go to Google and just type in balloons, right? And then, you know, capture it. Did I even spell balloons? I didn't. And then just save that image. You can't do that. You should be, you know, you really need to buy the image license, okay?
Although you don't necessarily need to buy it because Canva has all of those things and we have Canva as part of our team.
Okay, you do, yeah. So if you're using images from Canva, I love Canva, then go for that, for sure. But you should definitely, and you don't necessarily have to pay for a lot of these, but you do have to get the license for it. So some of them are, you know, there's freelicenseimages.com, I think is what it's called. So you can, there's free resources. The point being is make sure that you are getting the license. You don't want to get in trouble. Okay, so the other thing I want you guys to notice is that there's, and I hope you can see this in on my screen here, but like, do you see like this border right here, you know, like this whole border around everything, and then these faint borders here? Do you guys see all that? There's like borders everywhere, and now I doodled all over it, but you probably can't.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So these are tables that we've put in here to make everything lined up and pretty. So if you don't, like, if you create your own and you're like, mine isn't lining up. When I send it out, it looks all crazy. It's not justified. It's not centered. What I would suggest doing is then just copying and pasting this whole thing, and then, or just using this and then deleting all of the content out of here and replacing it with your own. Because the tables make it look right. So when you put this in preview mode, what it does is it's mobile, it makes it so it's mobile friendly. So if someone's reading your email on their mobile device, it's mobile responsive. If they're reading it on their, 22-inch monitor, it'll stretch to that. If they're reading on their 12-inch laptop, it'll, shrink down to that and make it look perfect. Okay. So at least use that as a guide, and you can see that when I preview this, those lines don't exist. Okay. Always, I cannot stress this enough, use this send test email, always. There should never be a reason that you don't send this. This can, because it can hurt your marketing, it could hurt your brand if you're not doing a test run. You want to make sure, like, if I just were to say, oh, I'm going to send this out to everyone, and then I don't look at it, and then I get an email from someone saying, oh, throughout my blank years of experience, are you going to share with me what the blank is? So one thing, you want to read through what we've written, because this blank should be filled in, should be edited to say, 12 year, whatever your experience is. So then I can come in here and say 12 years of experience, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So make sure you read through that. A few other notes that I want to talk about. Any questions on any of that right now? No? Okay. Is the name of the events and your descriptions. So because you can have different actions types, so you can have, like, this one is an email, right? But then I can also have a text message. I can change I can change what the action is right here. So I can say, you know what, I want to send a text, or I want to send an email. If you're gonna do that, which I am so 100% behind having mixed type of media of reaching out to people. So send an email or 2 emails and then a text and then a phone call and then another text maybe, or whatever it is. Do what feels right for you and what your messaging is, but make sure that you're putting it in the description, like email 1, right? So this is the first set of emails that you've sent out, or you can put it up here. It doesn't matter, but I would say make sure that you're putting it in here so you can kind of see like, what is this message? Is it an email? Is it a text? What is it? Okay. And then you can see your days from start. So in order to explain that, I'm gonna go back a step. So there's a couple of ways that you can be added to a marketing campaign. And today we're talking about automating your marketing campaign. And part of that automation, and we're also talking about lead rules, is you can make this system send this whole entire campaign out based on when a contact was added. So I can say, let's say we've created a drip campaign, or I'm capturing internet leads, right? One of my rules is that once the lead comes into the system for whichever way, however I get them in here, I want it to start that same day. Now, if you're gonna start it that same day, obviously a 6 a.m. start time is gonna be kind of crazy because I don't know of many leads filling out forms. I mean, unless you've got leads filling out forms from midnight to 5 a.m., right? Then I would say maybe it's a 6 p.m., right? Or you can change this to day 1 and then do like an 8 a.m. or whatever. Okay, so I would either say, just kind of as a guide, either if you're gonna do it from, same day that the lead came in, either day 0 and do it in the PM, do it in the afternoon, maybe like 5 p.m., like they're sitting down waiting for dinner or something. This is a good time maybe for them to get their emails and check their emails, then do it 5 p.m. Or if you're like, I want to send it first thing in the morning, then do it on the very next day at 8 a.m. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, there's 2 other event types. There's a drip and then there's a fixed date. Now, if you go back to when we first started this whole training thing, we have fixed dates. So it's like today's June 1st and then June 8th, June 15th, we're meeting, right? And the drip campaign that we've set up for you all is a fixed date because I know that I want to send something out on, May 31st, something went out to you guys, hopefully, I think at least, saying, hey, don't forget tomorrow's meeting with Eleni. We're going to be talking about blah, 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 right? And so that was a fixed date. And then today, maybe if we set it up that way, I can't remember, we did a fixed date at, I don't know, noon, saying, hey, we'll see you in an hour. Okay, so that would be the reason why you would do a fixed date, is if you're doing like an open house would be a great reason to do a fixed date, because the event is happening, the thing that you want them at, or like the end result, is happening on a fixed date. The drip is better if it's, so the day after you get the lead on this marketing campaign, they get this, and then I'm going to go now to the next type, the next event. 7 days after that, whatever that day is, it doesn't matter if it's a Sunday, a Tuesday, a Thursday, it doesn't matter, just 7 days after they started, they're gonna get this next one. Or I can change this to 5 or 3 or 2 or whatever. Does that make sense? Okay. So, so you want to make sure that you understand the difference between a drip campaign and then the fixed date. Okay. Does that make sense why you would do a fixed date for an open house? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now you have, I'm on this second event, and now I'm going to send them a text message. You all should have set up your text messages, your texting. Did you guys get all that set up too? No, Carrie's saying no. No, Tori's no. Okay, you guys should also have your texting set up. So if you don't have your texting set up, then we need to get that done as well. So if you go to, I wasn't planning on this, but that's okay. We could go off a little bit. You'll go from integrations, you'll click on settings, I'm just opening it up in a new tab here. And there'll be something called Wise Text. You guys should have something, it'll look a little bit different than this. It's not gonna have all of this down here in it. I believe you'll just have something that says add number. And what you'll do is you'll add your number, and then it's going to have like a whole step on getting that phone number, get you assigning a text number for yourself. Okay, and so you're gonna assign a new number for yourself. You can choose what area code, what, you know, last 4 digits you want it to be. And then you're also going to choose for it to be attached to your cell phone. So you'll want to put in your cell phone number. So then any of the messages coming back and forth with you will be going into Wise Agent in here, as well as on your phone. Okay. If you need help with that, can you post something in the chat, and then I'll make sure that somebody reaches out to you. Okay. So if you guys can post in the chat that you need help with that, and I'm going to get someone after this call to reach out to each of you individually that need that help. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a minute to just say like me. It's like, well, unless your name is Nancy Perry, then you're going to need to spell out your name because there's 15 of you. Okay.
Elena,
Yeah.
so on the texting,
Yeah.
I think when we initially set up, I think they gave us a number, we put it in. So is that the one where it just has kind of like like, it's not your real number, it just shows a number?
Right. It's
and
a
you
mask
put your-
number.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I did set that up. We set that up when we went through like the onboarding.
Okay. They should have
Yeah.
done it during the onboarding,
Yes,
but if you guys
that's
didn't
correct.
get that. Okay. And is that the Nancy, is it the real Nancy Perry? Will the real Nancy Perry please stand up? Is that you, Nancy, that's actually needing it, or is it a different Nancy Perry? It's not you. It's not you, Nancy. Okay. Mine is set up. Brent is saying he needs it. Okay. And Carrie, me. I did not have an onboarding either. Okay. And Carrie. Okay. I will get that. And then another Nancy Perry, but not the real Nancy Perry, is saying I will need help, and Chauncey. Okay. So if the other Nancy Perry can put in their name, then we can, Kristen. Okay. You may need it, Kristen. Belinda. We'll figure it out. All right, Belinda, awesome. Okay. All right, I think there's just one Nancy Perry that's saying that they need help, but it's not the real Nancy Perry. So let's figure that one out too. Okay. All right. Let me go back to this. So you'll have you kind of have your texting, and I know, like, tell me if you guys are following along with this, because it's really important that I'm not losing you. Because there's steps that go together, and they're kind of like, but you also need this. Trying. Someone's saying that they're trying to follow. Okay. So it says if it's a 602 number, does that mean that the text is set up? Yes. So if you have a number here, if you go to this page, if you go to integrations and then click on settings and go to Wise Text, and it already has a number here, you're already set up. Okay. So if you don't have that, then you'll need to reach out to us. Okay. And I can have someone from my team look on the back end to see. And reach out to you guys. Okay, I had to make myself a note. All right, so you've set up your text messaging, right? You have to have that set up, and now you can have that as one of your action types, is sending a text message. So in this account, it's a test account. I have 2 phone numbers. You guys are only gonna have 1. You still have to select which one you have. And now I can send my text, and you can say, hi, use a placeholder because this is going out to the masses and you don't know who it's going to. You don't want to put Bob's name here because you're sending it to, you know, Nancy and to Susie and to everybody else and Jim, and you want to make sure that it fills in the name. Type out your message, right? And then you can attach a video or an image. So if you are doing an open house, or if you are, which open houses are fantastic, if you guys aren't doing, you know, holding, even if it's your own listing as an open house, you can sit in an open house for somebody else if you know, if you guys are doing that, that's a good way to get some business. You want to attach a video or an image. So this is where you would attach that. If you've already uploaded images to your Wise Agent account, like we talked about earlier, this is where you would find them. So you can go in here and say, well, these are the images, like my images that I have, right? So I created a flyer, I converted it to an image, and that's what that looks like, right? I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see my flyer, okay? So you can attach that image or that video. If you're like, ooh, that's the wrong one, then just delete it, no big deal, and then go to the next one, okay? And so you can choose a video, so you can upload videos. So if you're taking videos from your phone, from your device here, you can upload it really easily from your phone to Wise Agent. And it's the same kind of action as before, and you just from this page right here, you would click on upload, like you were on your desktop, and then upload that image. I've got a lot of crap on my computer, shoot, I wish I didn't press that button. So that's how that would work. Any questions on uploading images or videos or whatever? Oh, I got the rainbow spinning circle of death here. Okay. All right, so, and then again, what's the size limit for videos? So for video, it's the duration, so no more than 40 seconds. That's a great question. And for images, 10 megabytes. And there's a send test here. Please do that. It won't be counted as like any credits or anything towards you. You can put in your phone number and get that text sent to you so you can see, is this what I want to send? Is this the right image, or is this, you know, spelled out right, or whatever it is, but use that. See, I just got the text. Okay. All right. Now, when you're creating these, you'll see under here, like we've created this and it says launch action, name, phone number, and it says no matching records found. That means that there's no one here. Right now, all we've done is created the program. We've not added anybody to it yet. Okay, that's gonna come up next. So I'm just gonna exit this like we've done all of the whole entire drip campaign. I'm not gonna do it another 6 times, but we'll just say that this has been created, okay? So now it's created and you can see in here, 0 contacts. 0 contacts in here. Sorry. Now you can go in here and just say, okay, I want to add some contacts, and you can click on this button, add contacts, and you can start adding them. So you can say start date. This is going to be your 0 date, date 0. Which one is that, right? If I want to say today, today is date 0, then that's when it's going to go out. Now, if I say I'm going to start this on Friday for whatever reason, and my drip campaign is starting on day 0 at 6 p.m., the people that I select here are going to get it on Friday at 6 p.m.
So on the drip campaign for like a category, Norma, you know how when we have our contacts and we have categories put in,
Yep.
will it allow us just to pick a whole category?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting that to now. So if I want to say, okay, I want to find all of my, well, maybe not buyers. I want to find all my sellers, right? Then I want to find all my sellers, and then I want to do more searching from that. And I want to make sure they're A ranked or whatever it is. I can do all sorts of searching. Okay. And then all I do is click on the search button, and then it'll bring me all of those sellers. Let me go back to basic. Okay, all of them, I have 1, but that's okay. So now I can say, here's that one person, and now, but that day 0, that start date, that I want to make sure that you guys all get that if the drip campaign says started on day 0, and I start this on day 4, I'm sorry, on June 4th, June 4th is day 0. Does everyone get that, right? Okay. So then all I would do is click on select and add contacts. So now Michael Phelps has been added to that. So if I go back to my programs, I should have one person in here, right? And if I click on that one person, it's going to give me the records. It's going to give me who it is. So it's Michael Phelps. Okay. We've got a question from one of the Nancy's here. Can I rename a drip campaign I've edited from the templates, then save that personalized campaign? Absolutely. Absolutely. So you can come in here and say to programs, and let's say it's this one here. I want to change this. My program, I can save that. Okay. This auto send, this is the whole reason why we're talking about this. This is the auto send. You want to make sure that this is checked, because then it'll automatically send those text messages and those emails out. Okay, that's really important, and click on save to get that done. Okay. You can also change the color. And so the color, why is that important? It's important if you're like me and you've got a million things on your calendar and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to choose what's the most important thing for me to do today. Is it this my program? I don't know what my program is. Well, if I put all of my marketing in yellow, let's say, when I look at my calendar, I can kind of say, oh yeah, that's part of my, I don't have anything to do at that time. That's just part of my drip campaign. Okay, so when I go to my calendar, let me go from here, my Wise Agent calendar, I can see all of my marketing events that are happening, right? So I can see that this is my marketing. Okay, because I don't want to, you know, look at all this stuff that I have. And I'm like, what's happening here? I'm so busy, I can't keep it straight. What can I skip out on? Well, then I don't have to worry about this one. I can even uncheck this and say, okay, that's cool. I can also leave it blank. I don't have to put anything here. And I can just uncheck this and then leave it as white. And then what will happen is, oops, when I go to this, it'll just follow this pink one, this pink color, and I can change the color. You guys know that you can change your colors here. You can click on this edit your colors and change it. No, you guys didn't know that? Okay. I mean, it's like a cool thing to do, but it's not like, oh, if you don't do it, then you're missing out on something fantastic. It is just kind of a cool little thing that we have. Okay, we'll go on from there. Any questions so far? Okay, you guys are all following me? All right. So we created the drip campaign. So we know what our message is. We know what our message is. The next thing is, you know, once we get these leads coming in, and now actually, let me go back one step. So if the leads that I've got, because I added on this my program, I added this, you know, I've added a contact to this because this is specifically for people within my database. But if I'm creating a drip campaign, let's say for, you know, for somebody that I don't know, let's say I'm creating an open house campaign and I'm going to post a landing page on, you know, like Fountain Hills Homes for Sale, right? On Facebook, on that community. And I post that like, hey, register to join me at this open house. And I show them a picture of the house, but I don't give them the address because I want to entice them to come, right? I want to entice them to enter in their information on the landing page. We're going to talk about that next week. Then I have to give them their information, right? And I don't want to sit here all day long as leads are coming in through that landing page to have to text everyone or call everyone or email them all individually. So what I'll do is I'll create a lead rule saying, all right, come to this open house. Okay. Are you guys following? Belinda, are you okay? Oh, you're on mute. I can't hear you. You're okay?
I think so. Keep
Okay.
going.
Okay, perfect. So I have this open house that I want to have people going, and we're going to talk about that landing page next week. But this week, but you have to set all of this up before you post anything. You have to set things up before anything gets posted because you have to be prepared. So I know I'm gonna call this, 123 Main Street Open House, because this is what I'm, that's the property that I'm listing. And so I want to add them to a drip campaign, right? So I just created this drip campaign, my program, or whichever one that I want, this open house campaign. I want to make sure that they're also on my call list so I can reach out to them. I also want to, because I know that these people are possibly buying, these are buyer leads for sure, right? And so I can categorize them as buyer leads, because even if they don't buy this house, I know they're looking for some house, right? But I can also put them in my monthly newsletter email as well. So I can categorize them like that. And then I want to respond to them. I want to respond to them automatically. So send an email auto response. Yes, absolutely. Right. And then I want to make sure that it's the right branding that I've selected. I put in my subject line here. So I want my subject line to be, 123 open house maybe. Or 123 Main Street open house. Okay. And then it'll come in, then once they click on, submit, when they submit their form, so I can capture their contact information, they're automatically going to get something that says, hey, I just got your request for more information on a home from, my landing page. And you don't have to put in the source here. You can say on Facebook, would you like to set an appointment to view the property? You can do whatever you want, or you can say for an open house, that doesn't really make sense. You could say the property will be open on Saturday, blah, 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 9 a.m. to whatever and then you give them the full address. Okay, please reply back and let me know if you're coming and if you're looking for a particular house and what you're looking for. You can start a conversation here. Okay.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to go backwards a little bit, and please forgive me, but on the campaigns, if I create a campaign from the templates, make some edits to it, save it under a new name. Now it's now in the list.
Yep.
I've assigned it to contacts,
Okay.
but I don't want to start it yet because I want to still tinker around with the content and the pictures and all that. In order to start this thing, I have to hit that box that says automatically send these emails.
Yes.
How do I pause this to make sure it doesn't go until I'm ready for it to go?
Well, so then I would say if you're not ready for it to go, don't add any contacts.
Well, okay, too late. Can I reverse that or what?
You can, yeah. So I can go in here. So I already have people in here, one person in here, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long the list is. I can just come in here and select all of them and just say remove selected clients.
I'm sorry, where did you go?
So, so from programs, you'll see I just deleted it. So,
Campaigns, okay.
Yeah. And you'll see where it says number of contacts.
Yeah.
And you just click on this and it'll give you the whole list. And just select all of them and click on the button that says remove selected clients.
Okay.
Okay.
And that'll leave the campaign still in that list. I can play around with it, edit, then assign the contacts. And then I want to click that button that says automatically send emails, texts, all that, right?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
sort of gets, that's the launch, right? That button. right?
Yeah, this is the launch. Exactly.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Any follow-up questions on that? Okay. So let me go back to the lead rules. So once you get your response here, you can, obviously it's got to make sense to what you're doing, right? This is an open house, so make sure it makes sense. You could put some teasers in here, so you could insert a YouTube link to video to that open house, give them a sneak peek of what maybe the backyard looks like to really get them to entice them to come to your open house. It could be, if it's not for an open house, if it's a, you know, just you're getting seller leads, you could put in a video of someone giving you a review. If, you know, so you can have people, you know, do a review for you on YouTube, you know, send it to you as a file, and you can upload it to YouTube and, you know, send this out to them. That would be a nice thing for them to see. So different things of that nature, okay? And then make sure you preview per usual, make sure that everything looks right, you don't have any fragments like I do right now, so all of that is good. You could also, so this is the email response. Then there's also the sending the automated text response. And depending on where your lead is coming from, if it's from a landing page from Wise Agent, you can set it up to say that it's required for them to put a mobile number in. And then you definitely want to do that. You definitely want that to be, because that gets you know, it's 100% open rate on that. On emails, it's still, the open rates on emails is about 60 to 70%. So it's not like dead completely. It's not like it's 30%, you know, a 10% open rate. You still have a good open rate on emails in general, generally speaking, for email marketing. But text open rates are a lot more, a lot higher. So, and again, with the texting, you can add the video or the image. You could send that teaser video, like a 40-second video of what the backyard looks like or whatever it is. Then you can also set up the notification. Make sure that you get notified if the lead comes in, because you don't want them to go unresponded to, like from a personal touch. Even though your email here is going to sound very personal, and even your text is going to sound personal, but you may just want to know, like, hey, even if it's at 9 o'clock at night and you get that lead in, tomorrow morning I got to call this person. So you'll get that notification and make sure that you follow up with them and everything else. All right, we're not really going to talk about the distribution. That kind of doesn't apply to you guys, okay? So we can ignore that one. Any questions on the lead rules? Okay, and this one's going to be important because we're going to go over it again next week. Shoot, we only have 10 minutes left. Okay, I have one more thing that I want to talk about, and then I have to give your assignments. So let's say you have a bunch of people in here in your account that you're like, okay, I've talked to some people. I wanna have maybe like a birthday greeting to them, or a little bit more personalized greeting, maybe an anniversary greeting. So there, maybe it's a home sale date. So I can say anyone, you know, that's bought or sold between a certain range, or I can say a birthday in, I think we're in June. So I want to select all my June birthdays. So I could go ahead, Michael Phelps again, wouldn't you know? So I can go in here and I can send him a birthday message now. So I can click on and automatically, so his birthday's not until June 30th. Obviously today's only the 1st. It would be weird if I just sent it to him today. I mean, he would totally know that that's not like really thoughtful and not personal. But I can go ahead and type in a message, and maybe I want to get a banner. I can't remember where our birthday ones are. So maybe I want to send him, which one? This cupcakes. Okay. Wishing you a spectacular birthday, happy birthday, you know, say hello to the family, blah, blah, blah. I can put in a whole entire message in here. Okay. And again, with the birthday banners, these all, like, you can just send the banner, but I mean, put in a personalized message in here. And then I can schedule this. This is where it gets really cool. I can schedule this to go out on the 30th at, I don't know, 8:12 a.m. So I can schedule this to go out. I could even repeat this every year. Right, so every year, if I want him to get the same message, you know, obviously what would be nice is I set it up to send him the same message every year, but then I can go in after his birthday and just like the day of his birthday after he gets that message, or the day after their birthdays, I go in there and change the message for next year. Okay. But I can set this up for every year. If you don't care to give them the same message, they probably won't remember anyways. You can do that. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. Any questions on anything we talked about? No. Okay. I'm gonna take your silence to mean that you guys, I did a great job. So hopefully I'm reading you guys right. All right. As far as your assignments, I'm gonna stop sharing here. So your assignment for this week is to create a drip campaign for one of your targeted audiences. So you guys created, you segmented your audience that first week. Maybe you had, I don't know, I live in Fountain Hills. It's kind of a smaller community. It's really kind of, split in a couple of different areas. So maybe you're in Chandler or West Valley or wherever you are, whatever your neighborhood is or whatever your niche is. If you belong to a gardening group, right? Maybe you want to target your gardeners, okay? Or bingo or whatever it is your interest. Golf's a big thing out here. Then go ahead and figure out who it is that you're targeting and create a drip campaign for them. Talking about how you're the expert in that area or with that area of expertise, like where all the great houses are with the great gardens, and you can help them find their dream home to help them, build this spectacular garden. Okay. Or, in that golf community that they're really interested in doing, whatever it is, but make sure that you're thinking of who your audience is, and it doesn't have to be a very large audience. It could be 30 people, could be less. It doesn't matter. Just because you're doing email marketing doesn't have to be for hundreds and hundreds. Okay, so think about that, and then create that drip campaign. If you need any help with it, reach out to our support staff, call us, email us, let us know, send me an email. I'm happy to help out. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, do you guys know who you're going to be targeting? Do you have an idea? Carrie says no. Belinda, you're not sure? So, so look at your database and look at how you've segmented your audience, and look and see, do you have them segmented with, people that you've previously sold with or bought from, bought with? Do you have them in an audience? Do you have them in a specific neighborhood? Do you know them all from church? How do you know them? Like, you can unmute yourself and talk to me a little bit about what it is. Or Nancy, I think the real Nancy, you said you already know who you're going to be talking to. So can you share with us? Do you want to share with us who you're going to be targeting?
I went to a class about 2 months ago and got certified for a listing program that I have done nothing with. So that's what I'm just gonna target my past clients and say, hey, just so you know, this is one of the options when you list your house with me, kind of thing. So.
Yeah, like right now it is a seller's market. So if you know that people own a home, right? Your message can be, do you want to know what equity you've built in your home? Are you considering selling your property to move up somewhere or to move down, downsize? If you know people that have multiple properties, this is if they've got, a rental property, are you looking to, kind of cash out of your rental and just take the equity from that? So think about that. Carrie, who's in your list of people? Who do you have in your database?
All the people.
I'm sorry?
I said all the people.
All the
people in my database. I probably mostly have buyer leads that have been there, for 6-ish months that haven't really converted.
Okay.
So probably something like that. So kind of like what Nancy's doing, I could certainly address.
So what you can address with that is like when you've got buyer leads. So, you know,
Yeah.
you can address the issue that every buyer is facing right now and what every buyer's agent is facing right now, which is, I don't know where to, you know, like I've got to show you a property and they're going pretty quickly. So you can talk to, you know, maybe connect with a loan officer and say, hey, are you qualified? First step before we go in and start looking for homes, are you qualified for what dollar amount are you qualified for?
Yeah, I'd like to insert like a video portion. And you said our video time is how long?
So if it's a native video, if you're sending from just as a text, it's 40 seconds. But if
Okay.
you want to send a longer video, that can be uploaded to YouTube, and then you can just put that link into YouTube if it's an email. That's the
Okay.
best way of doing it for an email.
And then can I put like a picture of the YouTube header, whatever front?
It will,
page?
so what you do, I'm gonna share my screen here, and I know we might go over 1 minute, but I think this is so important to do. So let me go to YouTube.
I'm thinking like they click the picture and then it opens the YouTube video. Is that?
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do, I don't know what this video is, I hope it's appropriate. Okay, that wasn't. YouTube.com, I'll just grab whatever video is here. Oh boy, TikToks. All right. Gosh, I don't like any of these, but okay. I know. All right, so this lock, okay. So now I want to.
Hey, Adrienne, how's
so
it
what I
going?
did. So what I did was I just copy and pasted this link.
Okay.
And when I go into my marketing campaign, let's say it's in marketing, or even if it's, you know, in the lead rules, it doesn't matter which one, but in here. So let's say I'm going to find the spot that I want to put it in. I'm going to put my cursor there, and I'm going to click on this little red play button. I'm going to paste that in there and click on OK. And then it will just run its magic and put everything in here. It'll take all of the tags and everything in here in the description. I can delete all of this. You know, if you don't want that in there, I can click on this and then, oops, center it.
So it gives you the thumbnail
It
automatically.
gives you the thumbnail with the play button on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we have another system that we use called Dub for videos. Would that?
What is it called?
We do Dub, D-U-B-B. Could we do the same thing with a link from a video in that platform?
You could put the link, you won't be able to use that YouTube button. You won't be able to use that, but you could, I mean, it's a little bit more complicated. I've not heard of Dub. I've not used that before,
So
but what you can do is, let's say this was just the image. So I can delete this, let's say, and either if I want to highlight a word, I could hyperlink it.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so I could hyperlink it here with that link, or if I wanted to make this image hyperlinked, I could do that.
Okay, that's
I think Dub lets you create an embedded version that you may be able to copy and paste and drop into the body of an email.
I
Dub
know
is
it works for Gmail, Brent, but I don't know if it would work within Wise Agent.
Dub is like BombBomb. It's just another video platform.
Okay.
You guys interface with BombBomb, but not Dub yet. So similar.
Yeah, I think Dave told me a little bit about Dub, but what I would do, Carrie, for sure, is I would test it. Test it out before you do anything. So make sure that if you're just hyperlinking it, that won't be a problem. But if you're going to create the image, or you're going to take the embed image from Dub and put it in here, I would check that first. I would use that send test email and just make sure that it works.
Okay.
But that's a good thing. So definitely use some emails, videos in here. Just think really about what's an audience that kind of is talking to you, is drawing you. that you feel like you know their language, you know what they want to hear, and talk to them. So when I'm writing an email, I'm imagining who it is. Because even though I might have 30 to 100 people or 3,000 people that I'm sending this to, there's one person that I have in mind specifically. And I write it like I'm talking to that one person. Okay, so that's what I would encourage you guys to do, is just make sure that like, don't be overwhelmed by the number of people in that one group that you're going to be sending it to. Pick one person from that group and focus on them and send that message to that one person. And then when you're done, you're going to see that it's going to sound consistent. It's going to be, and it's going to flow really well together. Okay. I know we went over our time. Sorry about that. Okay. Any other questions from anyone?
I'm good.
All right. Okay, awesome. Next week, we're going to talk about capturing new leads. And so, so even when you're creating this drip campaign, think about that. Think about capturing new leads and what you would say to them. So if you're like, I don't have any people to talk to, I don't know who I'm talking to, talk to the people that you want to capture. Where you're going to post a landing page on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram, right? Talk to those people. Who's your audience on social media? Who's your audience in general? And Belinda, I think that would maybe help a little bit clarify your messaging, is think about who, how you're going to be capturing new leads. So you can definitely do a drip campaign for the people that you currently have, but also think about, future ones as well. Because that's what we're going to do next week, and then this week and next week are going to kind of merge into one. Okay. All right, awesome. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to see you guys next week, Tuesday. We're going to talk about capturing new leads, and Sarah from our marketing team will be on as well. So she's going to talk a lot about that too. She's got a lot of information for you all. All right, thank you so much. Let me and my team know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.